So this is what he does. He sends you to this the B unit, and then he attaches this to the Cowboys, and then he comes with this whole little thing about people being cloned because they've cloned successfully an animal by the name of Dolly, and he maintains this with Dolly Parton. He's trying to make it seem like the slave value is attached to you being a stealth bomber, a B-2 stealth bomber, and in order to not be raped, you have to masturbate, and you have to have a certain scent so people don't bother you, or he's gonna kill you. But you would want to go to Europe where you can be with white people and opposites attract, is what he's selling you on. He's telling you that you're a B-2 stealth bomber because you can produce business, entertainment, and real estate like Donald Trump, who he's raising you with, or who's actually enslaving you. That's Donald Trump's slave plantation, not Mike Livingston's. And so he takes you to the Travis Air Force Base and lets you see M16s fly overhead. Now he's saying that people that could, and he lets you see Michael Jackson spins. So if you can do music and movies and all of this and dancing and all of that type of stuff, and you can do a tour, then you're an F-16. That's what he's telling you, since you're an 11-year-old kidnapped, immature little mind. Next, he's saying that he's forcing you to stay sedated. He's keeping you on alcohol and tobacco and drugs so he can isolate you, and he can identify you to the account that he's holding you hostage for ransom for, so he can tie you up. Like you leave a cigarette butt where he's forcing you to do a crime, so he can tie you up for the home invasion. He can pick it up. That's why he's doing it, but he doesn't want you to know that he's killing you in this entire process after he kills your parents, so he can have everything in your life. So he's keeping you sedated. So that is an Apache helicopter. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you can tolerate, all of this type of stuff, drugs and all of that type of stuff, more than everybody else around you, is an Apache helicopter. And then your special forces, the United States Army Special Forces, this is the ransom that he's establishing from 1993 to 2008, and from 2009 to 2011. This allows him to torture you. This allows him to cattle brand you and get away with it. And so he wants you to tell people that you're an Apache helicopter, a F-16, and a B-2 stealth bomber, and you are United States Special Forces. And he wants you to tell people that you're a money bag, so he can take the crime scene investigation. So you can't go to the FBI and to the U.S. attorneys, and he can try to say that you're the military, and he's taking your bag. The next thing that he's doing is he's setting up an all-day account to murder you. He's created something called the 1370 program, and it has multiple perspectives. One, he kidnaps you when you're 13, and he's trying to kill your 70-year-old mother. So all of the torture that he put you through, you're gonna give him the demand letter and a deed fortune and kill your mother, or he's gonna do the same thing he did to you when you was 13. Now that you're like 30, so that's one thing. The next thing is he wants you to go into a military training program. The training is as if you are 13 years old until you are 70, to go to all of these people that America supposedly has problems with: Kuwait, Afghanistan, Iraq, Japan, Mexico, Jamaica, Germany, all of these different problems, right? And then a lot of these different places, you're going to just wait to go to other places, and then a lot of these places, you're just gonna go and help rebuild what was torn down by America. And a lot of these different places, you just gonna go establish yourself as a little Donald Trump of business, entertainment, and real estate, right? And then somebody from America gonna come and they gonna get an opportunity to take over that business, entertainment, and real estate, and America can maintain a position in these areas that are considered threats to the United States of America. So that's this whole scam. But while that whole 1370 program is going on, you're free. The money that the power three dictators, Obama, Trump, and Biden, with Harris, has went and got from Steve Million so that they can own another house in the White House by killing an entire generation of people, is already spent. Mike Livingston is taking you to the dumping site from his hostage takeover location, and you're barely alive breathing. And now you have to get into a situation where you have to pay the ransom, and then and this is all a training program to him. And so while you're spending the money from Social Security Administration, he's collecting that ransom. And then once he collects that ransom, he's kidnapping and taking you back to the country Costa County Martinez detention facility. And then he's going to do his own fake court, the superior courts that he owns, just a business license. Just a business license on the district attorney's office, just a business license on the probate, on the public defender's office. He's going to use that business license to kill you. And he's going to say that the entire time that you was paying the ransom is a part of a 1370 program. You was at a mental hospital, which allowed you to do certain things because he has cameras there. And then you're going to be on the yard, and then there's no more money that's going to be issued through the Social Security Administration. And so until then, he hires DC Muriel Bowser. She goes up to Washington, D.C. to handle the Trump's slave plantation in California. She's going to deny Aaren Striplin all access to Washington, D.C. He hires Criminal Minds Behavior Analysis Unit and Criminal Minds Suspect Behavior, and LL Cool J is personal hitman, who does the TV show NCIS, and he hires Alias, a TV show, and Homeland, a TV show. They're impersonating Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and the U.S. Navy. They're blocking the entrance to the FBI with the U.S. Mayor, Muriel Bowser. And so what they're in the process of doing is they're using the Central Union Mission, the CCNV, 801 shelter, Adams Place shelter, New York Avenue shelter, to get your ID for Trump. They want you to get your birth certificate, your ID, Social Security card, and U.S. passport and bank card. Once you got all of that, she kicked me out of the shelter and then to the street and raped me. Everything that I reported that Mike Livingston did, like I just reported that Mike Livingston raped me in the hostage takeover location, and then in the dumping site location, he had these people collect the ransom and they raped me. They're using these rapes to rob me. They're maintaining a good, putting all of their money on the rapists who raped me, so giving them families, and they're keeping me broke in these military training programs to train to go to these different places. And if I do get something, then they plan on using one or all of them to kill me, and I want to file rape charges on them. So the mayor was like, well, if these rapes are a robbery, then she's gonna rape me. So she raped me. She kicked me out of this. She maintained the account of the 1370 incompetent to stand trial Mike Livingston scam to kill people by collecting ransoms that he established in his hostage takeover locations through torture and finances through the Social Security Administration for court fraud. Things, physical items that he can use for court fraud, like lighters and Newports and Marlboro cigarettes. And then, so she did the DC General Hospital. Only hired hitman from ER. They're gonna do like some murder thing and pull out our eyes and stuff. So anyway, she kidnaps me from CCNV shelter and takes me to the DC General Hospital, which is now CPAP, to maintain Mike Livingston's scam, and kicks me out of all of the shelters after she steals 2 of my passports and all of my documents. So now I'm outside in Tent City, and I'm an African American paraplegic, man. I'm just sitting there. I don't have no idea that she's on the controls. I'm sitting there just resting, and she rapes me, and she tries to give me herpes. I go to the hospital the following day, the Howard Johnson Hospital, and she up there talking about this is a training program still. It's a part of the process, and telling the people that to not tell me that I got herpes. She's trying to kill me with Malia, so Malia Obama can have a slave. She kicked me out of the DC shelters to the tent city and raped me, giving me herpes in 2020. So after all of this time, she can go dormant again. So that now Malia Obama can have a slave. Alright, so this is what she did back in the 90s with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. What they did was they created a moniker scam. So all of the black people who are rappers are taking on monikers like nicknames of Italian gangsters. They're taking on nicknames of South America and Colombia and Mexican mafias and drug smugglers. And they're taking on the names of heads of mafia figures, and they're taking on the names of Chinese people that was really, really hot back then, like the Wu-Tang, and taking on the names of video games and stuff like that. So what they're doing is they're making it seem like you can be very popular by taking on an Asian name. And so she wants to drive you from training to go to these locations, to raping you and giving you herpes, and to saying it's a part of the process, robbing you through the DC courts over 30 times, to saying now all of a sudden that you are Japanese, and she's sequestering you. She's the real life military, and that you guys killed your own dad, and she's here to kill you. That's what she did to me. The DC mayor tried to say that she rolled up here with Michael Jackson, continue to pay her porn company or get killed, get all of my documents in her shelters, don't contact law enforcement, go down to the courts like Kamala D. Harris did, and then she rapes me, gives me herpes so Malia can have a slave. She kills my entire family for the relief sought, and now she's trying to say that we're not training to go to Japan anymore. She's calling me Japanese, all for a nickname. Now we got 2 witnesses. We got Charles Pervo in Japan somewhere. We need to call as a witness that he corresponded with Helen Gray, Striplin, McLeod Smith, and Chantel Stokes and visited them. And that's how the Power 3 dictators, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, is killing them by calling them Japanese. And then we need the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe or the new Prime Minister Fumio to come and say that Microsoft started the company Sony in Japan, and also started the company Sega Genesis in Japan, and has a little bit of doings with Toyota, the automaker in Japan, so that we could press charges on Microsoft, who is the fence to the Power 3 dictators, Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris. And so she brings this whole thing up so we can take on the name of Shinzo Abe because of this fake rope rap sheet that they created that will allow us to get into Japan. This whole element of the Olympics and the Special Olympics, so we can get into Japan, and then to take on that name Shinzo Abe, and then to try to call us Japanese so that she can have us killed, so that she can get away with fencing that are all of our value that I just told you. And now Barack Obama is hiring Mexicans, giving them money, having them come by, say we want our girl, we want Aaliyah, you raped and gave Aaliyah AIDS and all of this stuff, and for them so that they can try to kill me. They need to go to jail.